Hey YouTube, what is up? Dual Selenite here, and I'm coming at you with the second deck profile in my series of 6 deck profiles for the beginning of 2018, and this deck profile is going to be my Gem Knight Burn deck, which is also can turn into a wonderful lockdown with Black Garden and Topologic Bomber Dragon. So, let's go ahead and get started. So, for your Gem Knights, you're going to run 3 Lapis Lazuli, and not Lapis Lazuli, but just Lazuli. Your 3 Obsidian. Lazuli's effect. I also use Lazuli in World Chalice. When it is sent to the graveyard, you can get a normal monster back to your hand. Obsidian's effect. When it is sent from your hand to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower normal monster in my graveyard. Well, from the graveyard. Next is going to be your Gem Armadillo. Gem Armadillo is basically a Stratos for the deck. You can add 1 Gem Knight monster from your deck to your hand when it is normal summoned, and only when it is normal summoned. Next is going to be your Gem Knight Lapis, then your Crystal, and your 2 Garnets. Don't run more than 2 Garnets. You don't need more than 2 Garnets in this deck. Okay, that's it for the Gem Knights. Next you have 2 copies of Crystal Rose. Crystal Rose is your light in the deck, so it allows you to special summon out Seraph Knight. And it can also act as a Gem Knight monster, because you can send 1 Gem Knight monster or Melodious monster, this is a Melodious card too, from your hand or deck to the graveyard, and if you do, this card's name becomes that sent monster's name until the end phase. And then, if it's in your graveyard, you can banish 1 fusion monster from your graveyard, special summon this card. In defense, you can only use this effect of Crystal Rose once per turn. And after that, well, after Crystal Rose, you have 3 copies of Rescue Rabbit, because, hey, it's at 3 on the ban list. So, in other words, it got removed. Great card for this deck, not so much this deck. After that, you have your Predaplant engine. Believe it or not, you run Predaplants in Gem Knight, because guess what? Cobra, when it is special summoned out by the effect of Scorpio, add a polymerization card from your deck to your hand. Believe it or not, it says polymerization card, so you think, okay, I can only add poly, super poly, stuff like that. Well, it actually means any card that acts as a fusion spell. So, well, that acts as polymerization. So that leads me on to my next group of cards. You run 3 Brilliant Fusion, 3 Absorb Fusion, and 3 copies of Gem Knight Fusion. All of these are polymerization type cards, so you can add them to your hand with Predaplant Darling Cobra, or whatever its name is. I just call it Darling Cobra. So, that's all your fusion spells. Now, after those, you have 3 Black Garden, 3 Terraforming to get your Black Garden to your hand, and 1 Soul Charge. Soul Charge, just special summon out monsters so you can use Lady Lapis Lazuli's effect. Or Master Diamond's effect, because Master Diamond can copy Lady Lapis Lazuli. Now, another thing you can do with the Predaplant engine is that gives you 2 monsters. So you can use those 2 monsters plus 1 more to go into your Decode Talker. And then Brilliant Fusion go into your lovely Seraph Knight. You get another normal summon. Hopefully it's Rabbit. And just go from there. So, now that I've explained all that, onto the extra deck. 3 Lady Lapis Lazuli, 3 Master Diamond, as he can copy Lady Lapis Lazuli's effect, 1 Citrine, 1 Ruby, 1 Lady Brilliant Diamond, she's your beat stick if you need her, 1 Zirconia, literally there for Lazuli's effect, well, Lady Lapis Lazuli's effect, 1 Seraph Knight. Now, Lady Lapis Lazuli's effect. Send one Gem Knight monster from, I believe it is, your main deck or extra deck to the graveyard, and if you do, inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each special summon monster on the field. Now, going against World Chalice, that's easy. Going against Spiral, that's easy. That's a lot of damage. Now, after you do that, there's a play you can do. You have your Link monsters, Proxy Dragon, Binary Sorceress, and Decode. Hopefully you have Decode out on the field, as well as one of these two, because that will give you 3 extra monster zones, allowing you to special summon out more of your fusion monsters. Now, what you want to do after that, take one of your fusion monsters, Decode, Topologic Bomber Dragon. Topologic Bomber Dragon with Black Garden. Gonna talk about this for a minute. Black Garden. Anytime you normal or special summon a monster, your opponent gets a token. Anytime your opponent normal or special summons a monster, you get a token. Have this active. Have him on the field. Your opponent normal or special summons. Put a token in one of his 3 spots. It blows up the board. And he stays because he's not in the main monster zone. And all of your spell and traps stay because they're not in the main monster zone. But your opponent probably just wasted a pendulum summon. So, great lockdown you can do with this deck. It's a very enjoyable deck to play. However, you want to be careful not to tick anybody off, because if you tick someone off, that's just going to be a bad day for you, and them, and anyone else, because that will get you probably removed from the tournament, both of you, because they'll get ticked off, causing you to get ticked off, and yeah. So, unless you're like me and you can stay cool. So, that being said, this deck has won locals 1 time. I've been playing this deck for 3 weeks, so if that tells you how recently it won locals, it's a pretty daggum good deck. So, thank you for watching, guys, and I will be coming at you with Spirals next. So, have a great day, have a great night, whichever it is for you guys right now, and thank you for watching. Duelist Tellarknight signing off.